It's June 1st, 2021, and this is Sketchworks NewsBrake. The news stops here. I'm Brian Troxell. In China, the government has reported the world's first human case of the H10N3 bird flu. So don't throw away that face mask just yet. The Chinese Communist Party also will allow couples to now have up to 3 children in an attempt to reverse the drastic aging of their population. However, if the government sends 1 or more of your children off to a concentration camp, that does count against your limit of 3. So thanks for all the pandemics and genocide, China. Vice President Kamala Harris created controversy when she tweeted, "Enjoy the long weekend," in reference to Memorial Day. Although it's not as bad as the time she tweeted, "Merry September 11th." The CDC says kids at summer camp can ditch the mask as long as they've had their COVID-19 vaccine. However, serial killers hiding out in the nearby woods waiting to kill the unsuspecting campers will have to keep their masks on. Kim Jong-un is saber rattling again. Rattle, 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 rattle. He's banned all skinny jeans from North Korea. In public, he has denounced skinny jeans as a symbol of the dreaded capitalist lifestyle. In private, he's denounced them because they sag at the waist. But, dear leader, if your skinny jeans are sagging at the waist, just find a pair with a 2-piece contoured waistband. It makes all the difference. North Korea also called the lifting of South Korea missile restrictions by the United States a hostile act. In response, North Korea is banning crop tops. And now the latest news from space! News from space. An asteroid the size of the Space Needle will be passing by Earth today, or has passed by Earth today, or earlier this week. It depends on when you're watching this. Even though we are in no danger of being hit by the asteroid, President Biden has asked Bruce Willis to be standing by. A new NASA photo shows what astronomers call the Milky Way's downtown. Look for artisanal donut shops and high-priced apartments to follow. British auctioneer Christie's plans to sell Sir Isaac Newton's handwritten notes to the laws of gravitation and motion. It's considered one of science's greatest works. The notes include Newton's less-known idea that you can run off a cliff and not fall as long as you don't look down. You have nothing to fear about the cicadas that are coming out for their once every 17 years ritual. Sketchworks NewsBrake correspondent Tim Millard thinks differently.
I'm in the mountains of North Georgia, and as you can hear, the cicadas are here. Now, modern science will tell you that the cicadas are a once every 17 years thing, and it's nothing to worry about. But we at Sketchworks prefer to be a little more alarmist, so we recommend that this is a good time for you to start stocking up on guns, on toilet paper, and on gasoline, 3 valuable commodities you will need when these cicadas take over and make us their slaves. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go purchase those 3 things and get ready for the coming invasion. In the mountains of North Georgia for Sketchworks NewsBrake, I'm Tim Millard.
Thank you, Tim. In related news, a fungus is causing some cicadas to turn into sex-crazed insects that will try to mate until their butts fall off. We're serious about that. And who can blame them? If I spent 17 years underground like a cicada, I'd be saying hi to a lot of moms. Texas Governor Greg Abbott is threatening to defund the state legislature because Democrats blocked a Republican-authored voting bill. Abbott also plans to defund the McDonald's near the Texas Capitol because the employees keep forgetting to give him extra ketchup for his fries. President Biden called the new Texas voting bill an assault on our democracy. Then, when asked what type of ice cream he was eating, he said, "Chocolate chip. Vanilla is an assault on our democracy." Come on, man! Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says airline passengers need to understand they still have to wear a mask on a plane as a matter of respect. Airlines report some unruly passengers have yelled at or even hit flight attendants who tell them to mask up. In unrelated news, Spirit Airlines plans to charge a "don't punch our flight attendants" fee. I wonder why Spirit Airlines doesn't sponsor NewsBrake. An Illinois man who left college in 1942 in order to fight in World War II has finally completed his courses and received a college diploma 80 years after he started. "Hooray!" the 97-year-old exclaimed. "I can now start my life." And now the latest news from prison! News from prison. A parole board decided Bill Cosby will stay in prison. According to the board, the former actor turned convicted rapist refuses to participate in sex offender treatment. This may also be the first time Cosby didn't try to drug someone who told him no. Prison guards in California say they didn't notice that an inmate was beheaded by another prisoner, but it does explain why he struck out 3 times in softball. A Virginia woman transformed her home into a shrine to McDonald's. Just like a real McDonald's, her house has Happy Meals, golden arches, and at 2 a.m. you fist fight the cashier. We mentioned summer camp earlier in the show. Well, our Sketchworks Comedy June Kids Summer Camp starts on Monday.
Sketchworks Comedy Summer Camps are back, and in person. During our 2-week camp, kids will play improv games, create funny characters, and write sketches for their own original comedy show. Not excited yet? Campers will also shoot a professionally produced video sketch and premiere it at their showcase. Also included, a show poster, camp t-shirts, awards, and a pizza party. Let's get back into comedy. Sketchworks, cranking out the funny.
If you're in the Atlanta area and have funny kids and or teens, head on over to sketchworkscomedy.com and sign them up. And no matter where you are, head on over to our Patreon and sign up for exclusive NewsBrake and behind-the-scenes content. If you don't feel like heading anywhere, then just stay here and click the like and subscribe buttons. And hey, why not share Sketchworks NewsBrake with a friend or two? This ends the gratuitous plug portion of the show. Johnson & Johnson is asking the U.S. Supreme Court to throw out a $2 billion verdict in favor of women who say the company's baby powder gave them ovarian cancer. If only Johnson & Johnson's executives had something that could help them deal with the painful rash of a $2 billion verdict. A group of white supremacists protested and intimidated visitors outside the Boston Holocaust Memorial last week. As a way of payback, Jews held a counter-protest outside of Walmart. Marijuana legalization is forcing many pot-sniffing police dogs to retire. But don't worry, like many retirees, the dogs will just wind up working at Walmart. This has been the latest news from Walmart. News from Walmart. California lawmakers are thinking about turning old and abandoned shopping malls into new housing. The biggest downside? Communal baths in the mall fountain. They're not that bad. Cops arrested a Japanese woman after she asked what to do with her son's rotting corpse. If this happened in America, she would know that when you find a rotting corpse, you elect it president. A mysterious chunk of ice crashed through the roof of a family's home in Elk Mound, Wisconsin. The sheriff's office told the family the origins of the ice chunk were unknown because they didn't want to tell them it's probably frozen poop from some airplane. A pack of bears crashed a high school pool party in Tennessee, forcing the students to run inside. So it's looking like the bears will still be virgins by prom. I know the feeling. And that's all for Sketchworks NewsBrake. We'll be back next week, and we hope you are too. I'm Brian Troxel.
I don't want to alarm you, but I found one of the cicadas.
If you haven't stocked up on guns, on toilet paper, and on gasoline yet, well, you're screwed.